£132 for a piece of wood with a nose job. For this project, all you're going to need is an offcut of a 4x4 post and at about 23 centimeters. Let's get started. We'll start by cutting this to length. I'm using the template as a rough guide for where to cut. And start to cut with the circular saw, and then it dies. The joys of using battery powered tools. Then I just thought, why not just use the bandsaw to cut it? So let's just crack on and we'll cut it off when we first start. So I put some tape on just so that way I'm not sticking the template directly to the wood. Then after thinking about it, that probably isn't needed because of how this cuts are happening. And yep, now we're over to the bandsaw. Dropping off the bottom like I should have done to start with, and now we're starting on the side profile of the base. Wish cutting was this fast normally, but this has been sped up. Just got to take it in the cuts nice and slow on a bandsaw. I'm just trimming it off in sections. I'm not trying to keep it in one whole piece. And then I'm going to cut out with the nose included and then cut the nose piece off like just now, and that way I can come back to it. Yeah, there's the excess part not needed from the nose, and then cut off the bit that will be used as the nose afterwards. Yep, side profile's done. Now it's time to rebuild it. And you put the tape back on, hold it all down in place, and we will then cut the front profile out. We're starting off with the notches at the bottom. What's great with this is just an offcut of fence posts I had laying around from my old fence. And so it was a really simple, easy scrapwood project. Now I'm putting a slight taper on both sides of the head. Taking it nice and slowly. There you go, and peeling the front off. Now let's try and get this nose sorted. So I've taped the two pieces together, and then I'm cutting along the lines, and then I'm discarding the top piece, and the bottom piece will stick on about there. Okay, now let's give it a quick sand and getting it ready to be glued on. I'm using the offcut as a template, so I can try and make sure I get it in the middle. And using the silicone spatula, like all my videos, great tool. So glue just peels off when it dries, and then I'm leaving this overnight. Now we are here in the next morning and taking all the pieces together, and then there you go. It is now put together. Now it's time to hit it with the sander and try and sand off some of the saw marks. But obviously leaving some does give it a bit of a character. And yeah, getting all the edges I can get into. We will then give this bit a quick sand because I didn't quite catch this with the bandsaw when I was cutting it. But I do quite like the old sort of weathered look. So going forward, you know, if you wanted that sort of look as well, yes, there's a few processes you can do that will give it that sort of finish, or you just leave it out in the elements to get its colour that way. Yeah, I'm just sanding the back because that wasn't touched at all, just so it kind of matches. And yeah, there we go. We are about to move on to using some files that I use to help get into all the little grooves. Great little set of files I've got here. Always coming handy if we're getting into these tight grooves. And yeah, and then moving on to the mouth. Yes, these are the nose quickly as well. And then down to hand, using a bit of sandpaper as well. And yeah, there it is. I am using some Brie Wax Quick Dry Hard Wax Oil on this one. This was I won this in a competition a couple of years ago, and the stuff's turned out great on the few projects I have used it on. So now I'm just using a sponge to apply it, and then letting it soaking for about 5 minutes after giving it a coat, and then going over with a paper towel and wiping off any excess. And then off camera I denibbed it quickly with a bit of sandpaper and then gave it a second coat. And then just like that, it is done. Let me know what you think in the comments. It is now complete. What do you think? It was a nice, quick, easy project on the bandsaw. As you saw, it was very, very quick to do. My template worked out great. And yeah, I think it's given us some real character with how I've left some of the spits in the wood in it. Let me know what you think of it. And I can't believe they want £132 for this. The plans will be available on my shop. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I've queued up a video right here for you that I think you'll also enjoy. And if you're enjoying this sort of Etsy style breakdown videos that I'm doing, there's a playlist for this whole collection right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.